The manifesto of impassionism. Passion, the lifeblood of a battle, a tender moment, an epic win, a good cry, and also the heartbeat of creativity. Too often, artists cater to the needs and wants of others and give away with it their own passionate drive for what they used to love. It has become kosher to tirelessly mass-produce and endlessly copy the works of others. Of course, this has its place in society, but it does not foster the original, outrageous, magical, or dramatic art that swept the whole world off its feet on multiple occasions and hollowed out new, exciting spaces in the collective human consciousness. The Manifesto of Impassionism proposes to remind artists that they are empowered simply by their own unique talent, not by the predisposed acceptance of tired, worn-out ideas. There are no set examples of Impassionism because everyone shows their passion in a different way. The greatest art comes from within, so it is up to the self-proclaimed Impassionist to name his or her art or persona as such. The guidelines of Impassionism are as follows. The art of the Impassionist is passionate, raw, emotional, and extreme. At the same time, the Impassionist is careful and calculated, entirely focused. The Impassionist never wantonly misplaces energy, but is not afraid to trust him or herself in the name of experimentation. The Impassionist creates art because he or she feels absolutely compelled to do so, never because he or she must. The Impassionist knows that he or she wants a life with art, but will not be happy unless that artwork is derived from his or her own ideas. The Impassionist will create commissioned work for others, but separates him or herself emotionally from this piece and does not consider this work to be of the Impassionist movement. The Impassionist learns from others, but will not copy other works nor mass-produce his or her own work. The Impassionist strongly believes that each piece that he or she finishes is entirely unique, almost as if it is the first ever of its kind. The Impassionist will not be crushed if the work turns out to be very similar to another artist's piece, but it was still derived from an original idea and is therefore unique, or because it was. The Impassionist hates to be rushed and often takes a long time to produce a single work. The Impassionist is very critical of his or her own work, but is resilient and very rarely discouraged. The Impassionist believes in the power of learned knowledge, but is also a firm believer in the advantages of self-discovery. The Impassionist dances the line between selfish pride and the selfless giver. The act of giving away art to important people in the Impassionist's life, as well as creating art for the sole purpose and pleasure of seeing the final product, is entirely acceptable. The Impassionist is always hungry for new techniques and mediums to play with, and the Impassionist, as a person, must absolutely stand behind and confidently believe in the quality of his or her own work. The Impassionist must be humble, gentle, truthful, and honest, sometimes brutally so, with him or herself and with others. Impassionism is not the art of the child nor of the practiced and trained master. It is the art of the person who is actively and purposely finding their own story, but hasn't found a preferred medium or genre to settle in. Finally, the Impassionist will keep in mind a few words that have been inspired by the above poem, Taurus and Orion, and the art of the bullfight itself. The Impassionist will act with the passion of natural disposition with which the bull charges the matador. Think naturally. With the cunning wit and tantalizing elegance with which the cape fools the bull. Think purposefully. With the sharp pain hidden and ready to strike in the spears and horns of both matador and bull. Think emotionally. With the joyful power that comes with terrified adrenaline. Think experimentally. With the poetry that is motion, emotion, form, strength, grace, anger, pattern, line, angle, speed, agility. Think poetically. With the heightened senses and focuses that are intertwined with being both the predator and the prey. Think active and reactive. And of course, with passion.